Hi everyone and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen, and today we're going to be talking about a few things. One thing I want to talk about very quickly is Joseph Parker and where he's at the moment. Are we going to expect him to get a world title shot soon, and if so, what do we reckon to the fights that are being touted out there at the moment? I'm not impressed, but what are your thoughts? Secondly, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. The presser was only a few days ago, and obviously for the September fight, and I want to speak about that very quickly as well. And I also want to go into what the WBC president said about Fury being still retired but still quite bitter towards Usyk II result. So let's dive straight into it, guys. Let's go straight to the first thing, which is Joseph Parker. What has this man got to do to finally get that world title shot again and get over the line and win it? Because for me personally, he deserves it. He's beaten Deontay Wilder when people thought he'd lose. Big Bang Zhang, people thought it'd be too much for him. And then gone on and beat Martin Bakody. Now that is a bit of an outlier. Obviously 48 hours notice for Bakody because of Dubois pulling out. And then obviously he's going through there and he's took on the challenge. But still, no one wanted to fight Bakody at that point, no matter what condition he was in at that point. So to do it and to make a statement like that is still a big statement, especially with a last minute pull in for a fight you've been training for now for 3 months, if not longer. So I've seen a few things being touted about him and about what potential opponents are, and I'm not impressed, to be honest. Chisora, yes, there was a good bust up between Chisora, but I feel like he's way past him now in terms of his ability and where he is in the rankings of world fighters. And I also seen one about Dave White Rhino Allen. That was absolutely perplexing to me because, yes, Dave Allen had a great fight and I tipped him to win against Johnny Fisher, but that was against Johnny Fisher. This is not even one level up. This is elite level boxing with Joseph Parker. So to be touted in that position is something quite remarkable, if you ask me. And I think if he got that fight, you should take it with both hands, because I know I would, especially after just winning against Johnny Fisher. To go in against Joseph Parker all of a sudden would be just insane. But let me know your thoughts, guys, because I'm not so sure really. I think if you're going to do it, and I know it's another contender, and I know it's someone else who got beat, but to even stake his name even more, Caballero would be the one for me. Just go in there, beat Caballero and deal with him, and then you are literally unquestionably the next guy off the rank. But he was anyway for me, because yes, he didn't get the title shot against Dubois because Dubois fell ill and stuff in the end, which was a bit unfortunate really. And that's why he's not the Dillian White of 2018 to 2020, you know what I mean? He is still getting a shot, but he just got unlucky at that point in time. And for me, that was the point where I thought he was going to actually beat Dubois and win that world title. So for me, I think he is the second best heavyweight in the world right now behind Usyk. The world title doesn't state that, but that's my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong, of course I could. But I think he would have proved it against Dubois in that fight. So it's very interesting, guys. Let me know what you think. Should it have been a rematch with Dubois after what happened with Dubois coming out because of being ill? And also, what do you reckon about the people being touted? Like I say, so far, I think it's been Chisora and Dave Allen. So what do you reckon to that, guys? Number one I want to talk about is the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight. Now, there was a big presser for that not long ago. Only a few days ago. And obviously, there was a bit of shoving and pushing going on and trying to sell the fight. And if it was these two against anyone else, I'd sit there and think this is a really good fight. And yes, it's two great fighters, elite fighters, greats of their time, and maybe greats of previous generations, but I still hold on to the thought that it's a great big fighter against a great small fighter, and I don't see how Terence is going to equalise that gap and beat Canelo because of such a huge size difference. Like, there is, I think it's 1.5 stones in what weight classes they're fighting. It is ridiculously big. It is bigger than I think the Eubank, I would question it, probably bigger than the Eubank Ben difference, and we all seen physically on camera once you've swollen back up what that looks like. So let me know your thoughts, guys. It's an intriguing fight, but I don't think it's going to go any other way than the Canelo win, but just purely on size. Nothing to do with boxing ability. They're both great fighters, but purely on size. Let me know your thoughts, guys. And finally, I wanted to talk about very quickly just Fury. I know he's retired, and the WBC president's come out and mentioned that he is retired still, but he mentioned something very odd, that he was still bitter about Usyk II. I don't think you can be bitter about anything about those two fights. I think, all due respect, if you would have watched those fights back, he was soundly beaten in both 1 and 2. A little bit less than 2, but still soundly beaten. And in 1, he was dramatically beaten. And like I say, I still hold on to the fact that he should have been stopped in the 9th round. The referee was a disgrace for not stopping it in the 9th round. If that was any other fight in the world, instead of the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world fight, that would have been stopped. and I hold on to that belief till the girls come home. So let me know your thoughts, guys, because I think that's just not a taste of the old sort of fury. I wanted to come back. I hated that he retired. I wanted to come back and try and avenge it and prove that he could, go and fight Dubois, go and fight Parker. I know it's his stablemate, but just go and win some more fights again. Don't lose 2 fights to Usyk and then disappear, because yes, your legacy is intact to a point, but you want to be the greatest of the generation. You need to try and prove that, and you need to get back to the winning games. And if you won one against Usyk, people might see it in a different light. But again, like I said, it just sort of blew my mind a little bit, because he had to watch that fight and realise that he was beaten in both Usyk 1 and 2. And I'm a big fan of Fury's, a huge fan of Fury's, but I just didn't see a way that he won that fight in Usyk 2. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Like I said, we've got Joseph Parker. Where does he go now? Who does he fight? I think Kabayel, and I think Chisora and Dave Allen being touted, all due respect, it's just not the level that he needs right now. He's stayed at the very top to win these titles that I think he can go on and win again. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, what do you think is going to happen there? Is it 2 great fighters, but size is just going to be the be-all and end-all of that fight? And finally, Fury being bitter about Usyk 2 and still retired, where do you think his future lies? Do you think he's ever going to come back again? And also, did you think in Usyk 2 he got robbed? I don't think so. I think it was a sound defeat, but you let me know your thoughts, guys. I look forward to hearing from you, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and share amongst all your friends. Take care. Have a lovely weekend.